3 weeks ago, our little family was hunkered down in a remote off-grid campground in Alaska, as far away from people as we could possibly get. Patiently waiting. Little did we know that no matter how much planning, preparation, or precautions we took, life was going to continue to take us by surprise. We didn't intend to leave you all so abruptly, but everything and nothing has been going on at the same time. Today, this video is for you, to catch you up with what's been going on in our lives, and we will answer the question as to why we're in a car and not in our van. Today's adventure begins in Anchorage, Alaska, where Jim and I had been in our family home, quarantining for 14 days. We couldn't remember the last time either of us had to stay in one place for longer than a day or two, much less both of us putting up a strong fight against this virus at the exact same time. But we endured, and we were all grateful to have each other while learning lessons about family and friendships. And a few days after it was all over, Jim took one look straight through me and said, "Pack your clothes in a sleeping bag. We're going on an adventure." And as with all of our adventures, it was a surprise, and I rolled with it. Jim did all the planning and preparation for a really amazing experience at an off-grid seaside cabin in Seward, Alaska. The drive to Seward is a 3-hour drive, and we took our time. The roads had recently warmed and frozen again, resulting in areas of pure ice. But there is something absolutely magical about driving these roads in the winter. The temperature was resting in the 20s, which makes for crystallized snowflakes on the heavy tree branches. And as the sun went down behind Kenai Lake, we for the most part had the road completely to ourselves on this beautiful November evening. We drove straight through the town of Seward and took on a winding and curving dirt road that hugs Resurrection Bay. And on this road, it's really easy to be distracted on one side by the sea otters and the danger of falling rocks on the other side. But this is also where Jim and I had taken our halibut charter last summer with Miller's Landing. And as we drew closer, I knew that this was a place where nature lovers go to play. There's numerous activities such as kayaking, hiking, fishing, and birdwatching. This part of Seward can be easily overlooked. I started to get more excited because I had a feeling that Jim and I would be going back to our roots and winter camping from our car. And as crazy as that sounds, that's what started this whole van life adventure. But before I tell you Jim's super secret plans and how they turned out, let's rewind this story and take you back to Anchorage to give you a quick update on where our van currently remains. For the past year, Jim and I have been planning and saving up money to complete some upgrades to make our revel even more uniquely ours. Instead of hitting the road and getting this done down in the lower 48, we of course remain in Alaska, so we decided to have the work done locally. What was originally supposed to take a couple of days has turned into weeks for reasons that still remain unclear. And that's okay because while we were patiently waiting for communication on the van, we stayed put. And then Alaska's governor sent out an emergency alert through our emergency alert system, reminding Alaskans to socially distance and wear a mask to slow the spread of COVID. As cautious as we have been, we were exposed by a close family member who tested positive. And while we went stir-crazy quarantining, it also gave us the time to slow down, reevaluate what's important to us, and get a little bit more creative with life. This experience has been a good teacher for us. Like any good teacher, it taught us that life is a process and learning occurs most effectively in baby steps. Nothing that has any value or meaning happens overnight, and we need willingness to set our impatience aside. Our next video will bring you another tour of our revel and all of the upgrades we've completed as of today. We also wanted to bring you a transparent review of how this process went when all is said and done. Now, let's get back to sharing with you our beautiful state, Jim's creative cooking, and Ember's swim in the ocean. Thank you for being here with us today. I fell in love with this place the moment we pulled up. It was a step above car camping and a creative swing for us since I've become spoiled with the simple things like solar, electricity, a toilet, and a shower. And speaking of being spoiled, have you ever been on a camping trip with a miserable teenager? Well, that's exactly what Ember turned into. She pouted, and she didn't hide her dissatisfaction or her quirky little fears. She's a daddy's girl, and she doesn't hide that either.
For tonight's dinner, we're completely off-grid, and I brought our grill with us. So we're gonna do some steaks and veggies. Half a stick of butter, some seasoning, and we'll be good to go.
Ember, come here. Ember.
Dinner's cooking.
Ooh, it's warm. Hey, good looking. What you got cooking?
It's chilly outside. It's only 7 o'clock, and it's pitch black.
there. Welcome home.
Wonder what happens when you cook on a grill when it's below freezing?
Ooh-wee. It is cold out here. Oh, yeah.
These were delicious.
By now you've come to realize pretty much everything Jim puts his mind to, he does an amazing job, and his steaks were no exception. The wood stove had the cabin nice and toasty and warm, and we had our LED helium lights up and our candles lit. It was time for a few intense rounds of blackjack and to snuggle up and listen to the wind blow. And this was a strong and brutal reminder that we needed to keep going with the flow. And I couldn't sleep that night. It wasn't the metaphors that were running through my head or the meteor shower occurring above. It was that wondrous feeling that sleep is wasted time. I dozed a little and listened to Jim breathe as the sun came up over the mountains that morning. I was another year older, and we were celebrating another year together. I took a deep breath. And I felt all the gratitude and fulfillment my heart could possibly hold. Thankful for another day on this earth and the people we love.
And you ever wonder if days like these last with one another, with the feeling pass? Would you find out with me if it all starts to crumble? We'll search the pieces for a hope or a mumble. It's not for me to decide if I should be the one better to say goodbye. You ever wonder if we know what's best for one another? Are we just another project? We're both fixer-uppers, waiting to crumble. If we search the pieces, would we be bitter, humble? It's not for me to decide You ever wonder? You ever wonder?
Oh, wait. Hold on. That's what we saw when we woke up that morning, but what did Ember see? I was certain she was plotting behind our backs to find a way to get us in the water with her, and she found the perfect opportunity to take her daddy for a swim. It was time to say goodbye to this beautiful and peaceful retreat, and we had both gone for 3 weeks without a good cup of coffee. So one of our first priorities was a solid cup of coffee and a nutritious meal with some greens. We stopped in at Zudy's cafe, and the food was amazing. If you're planning a future trip to Alaska, we highly recommend that you grab lunch at Zudy's cafe. And if you're up for an extremely rustic and off-grid adventure, check out the Rocket House at Miller's Landing. We will leave a link to both in our description below if you'd like more information.
She heard water and she's gone.
Where'd she go? Oh, did you find water? Show me. You have to throw something.
Gotta go back. Come here. Gotta go back. Yeah.
As we return to Anchorage to get updates and edit this video for you, we were told we can pick the Revel up in 2 days. They're just finishing up some electrical. So, what have we learned today? That patience isn't just waiting. It's remaining calm no matter what happens. And that it doesn't matter how you choose adventure, whether it's in the middle of your living room building a fort or playing in the woods in the middle of nowhere, Alaska. What matters is that you choose adventure. Thank you for being here with us and subscribing to follow along on our future adventures. And as always, stay happy, healthy, and safe. We'll see you again soon.